If you wouldn't mind just looking in the camera and saying your name.
Sure. John Martin.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, as I'm sure you're aware, Clearview Incorporated is looking for 3 lucky contestants to participate in our time travel program.
Right.
Where we want to send you back to a specific moment in time. Now, in that moment, you'll have an hour. What is that moment that you would travel back to?
Well, I would have stayed in the art program that I started in 1968 instead of switching to an early childhood major. Hindsight, hindsight, hindsight.
So what is the moment? Is it the first day of school?
No, it's a very distinct moment which I'll never forget. I had given my mother a call and I was wondering about what I should major in. And I mentioned this art program and she's like, art program? You're going to be an artist? There's no benefits in an art program. There's no retirement accounts in being an artist. You have no job stability. You know, and being a young kid, she kind of freaked me out a little bit. And I'm like, that's true. So, all right, maybe I should have a profession like a teacher where, you know, I have more stability and more benefits. So that is the crucial moment.
So you're currently in early childhood development?
That's correct. I'm currently a teacher. And don't get me wrong, I love my job. It's a great job if you like dealing with precocious neophytes all day and parents who sign a complaint against you if you give their kid an A rather than an A+. I kind of feel like my job is like a black hole. It's just like slowly sucking the soul out of me. And one day, like a black hole, I'm going to implode in myself and vanish from the face of the earth. Now, aside from that, I love my job.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah.
What do you envision your life would be like as an artist?
Well, as an artist, first of all, I would be happy. So I would just have a sense of freedom. And like I said, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be an artist. And it's just something that I feel like that's in me and like something that I have to express.
What type of art?
Well, I mean, Jackson Pollock is a real favorite artist of mine. And I just love, you know, the way he worked, just splashing that paint over everything. And I mean, I like all types of art. Picasso is another favorite of mine.
So painting.
Painting, yeah. Painting's my primary mode.
Do you still engage in the arts at all?
I mean, I paint a little bit, you know, but with my schedule, it's very difficult. I often have to work at night. I often have to work on the weekends. So I do have some time to paint. But I feel that it's just not enough. Now, if I was an artist as my profession, obviously I could do that all day.
So there's something about being an artist that requires you to have a bit of thick skin, to be able to,
Right.
These are my ideas, take them, leave them, this is who I am.
Right.
Do you think you could thrive in that type of world?
Absolutely, because like I said, I deal with these awesome parents who file complaints against me all the time. So I've developed a bit of a tough skin. I think I could deal with rejection. And I mean, I wouldn't be doing it necessarily for the money or for approval. It's just, I feel like it's something that's in me. And if I'm not doing it, it's just sucking the life out of me.
Sure. So why couldn't you deal with your mom's rejection of your career choice?
Well, at the time I was 18. I mean, I was a freshman in college, you know, and I had a pretty sheltered life. I was pretty naive. And back then I didn't have this tough skin. I didn't have a lot of life experience.
What was life like growing up for you?
Well, I mean, we had everything we needed and most of what we wanted. And my parents were great. They were very loving. But my mother, you know, she was a little bit overbearing and a little, I don't know what the right word is, like paranoid. Like I would go out with my friends and she would say things like, don't let anybody steal you. And I'm like, that's so strange. Why would somebody steal me? My best friend said, what, are you made out of gold? So she was a good mother, but just a little too much, I think, paranoia, and she had fear, a lot of fear. Like if you say to your child, don't let anybody steal you, you know, God knows what's in her head. So I think that kind of like, I don't know, screwed me up a little bit.
So at that point in your life, you're 18, you're going to school, your mom's opinion still matters greatly to you. You're influenced by what she says, by what she thinks.
Yes.
What about when you were younger, do you think there was a time as a child
Right.
where you would have had an opportunity to break away from that?
I don't think so. I mean, I come from a very, nuclear family, a very normal family, and the idea of like self-expression, and talking about your desires and your emotions, it wasn't like that. We had one of those dinner tables where you sat down and you ate, and there really wasn't any conversation. So it wasn't an environment that fostered creativity. It was kind of like, now it's time to eat dinner, now it's time to go to school, and it was just, it wasn't a free environment.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
so you're going back.
Right.
You only have a short amount of time. What about this?
Yeah.
Going back, but instead of approaching you,
Yeah.
engaging your mother.
Right.
How could you get her to change her mind or keep her from changing your mind?
Right. I think that'd be impossible.
Impossible?
She's
All
very.
right, let's just think extreme.
Okay.
Not that you would like do anything crazy,
Right,
but what
right.
would you have to do
Right.
to get her to either agree to let you be an artist
Right.
or
Okay.
never talk to you while you're in college?
Right, right. Well, my mom's very religious. I
Okay.
mean, in fact, when I was a little kid, I went to a costume party and she dressed me up as a priest. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit too. But to answer your question directly, I think I would use the God angle and say,
that's good.
I think, this is what God wants for me. And so I think that would bring her over to the dark side.
Do you have any concerns or anxieties about time travel?
I do have one concern about my health insurance. I'm thinking if I go back in time and develop some kind of illness, and then I come back to the present, is my insurance company say I have a pre-existing condition and they're not going to cover me?